As we do load up into that grand arena, we have Method, of course, representing the European Union. NG Blue also representing Europe, but Minpoike is the captain, so he has the Swedish flag.
Minpoike is so selfish. All right, in the grand arena, we do have the mirror. An exact mirror on the wall. Raikou charging for it. The one thing I love about EU mages is that they do not, they love to get dirty. They just run into the middle of the map. Time to hit Frostbolt. Let's get Icicles. This is going to be insane. They're going to have so much damage as a result. We can see a full blind onto Chaz as they go after No Lifer to begin with here. He's going to trinket out right away, try and get out of line of sight. Waz just going after him. A full sap out of that blind now onto Chaz. Minpoike in the meantime caught into a sheep. Raikou could be in a bit of trouble here. No Lifer's going ham. Raikou down to 20% HP. He needs to be careful, barely blocking at 15% HP. And Method, they take a lead. Blind is out of the way. They've got the first block.
Yeah, I really like how No Lifer played that. He didn't wait for the stun to blink. As soon as the blind happened, he just blinked and walked out of LOS. He knew how much damage Raikou had. Of course, those Icicles fully stacked. He was just able to move out of loss. He trinketed out of the kidney, kept lossing. And now they're the team that's taken the lead here. They got that block out of Raikou. The evasion coming out from Waz. He's trying to get offensive onto Stoinkhanov. That's aka Chaz. We were talking about this, the healer swaps, but I'm not sure too much is going to come of this one. They do the deep freeze onto Prey, followed up by the sheep, but they're not getting too much damage right now.
Yeah, we can see that Waz was actually the first rogue to make a swap, and they really didn't get as many cooldowns as I think they were hoping. Now going back to No Lifer, he's already down to half HP. Chaz got locked on the clone. No Lifer in a lot of trouble. Blinking to the center of the map is not maybe the best place to be. No Lifer is going to be forced to block. Minpoike getting a good Cyclone on Chaz, and a sap out of the Cyclone. Really well played from Waz. No Lifer could be in a lot of trouble here if they can reconnect, but unfortunately they cannot. Prey is doing a great job peeling Waz with those stuns, and now pressuring Raikou. Raikou down to 20%. Minpoike struggling to heal him back up. He should be able to do it. Connects a big Nature Swiftness, holds on to that second block as they make a swap onto Chaz. Chaz actually decides to trinket and blink away, realizing that he didn't have any damage mitigation. His team couldn't support him. He had to break out of that stun and retreat.
Yep, I completely agree with that one. And I think Chaz might have made a small misplay going into that. I think going for that Cyclone, getting locked out was a mistake. And we'll have to see how the setup, look how clean that setup is from NG Blue. And actually swapping over onto Waz, he has no trinket, Minpoike, instant trinkets, but there's a slight overlap there with Raikou also using his Ice Block. And they're going to swap over to him. He doesn't have the Iron back on this. This could potentially be the kill. He's down to about 60% HP. Looks like he's going to be okay for now, but they don't really have any defensive cooldowns on the side of NG Blue.
Yeah, we see a full Ring of Frost right now onto Chaz. No Lifer is put into that full block, and that is the second ice block of the game for at least another 2 minutes, so it's not looking very good for Method. Both Resto Druids sitting in a blind right now with no way to break it. If they keep this CC chain going any longer, the mages could just fall down. Raikou appears to be the one getting bursted down first. He's down at 30% HP, now caught into a full cycle. He clones the Nature Swiftness. Minpoike getting a little bit outplayed there by Chaz. If they can get any CC on Minpoike, Raikou's in so much trouble.
Yeah, I completely agree. He's got his block up in 30 seconds, but he has to make it that far. Can they just get that CC? It doesn't look like it just yet. They actually land a random sheep onto Chaz. Slightly unfortunate for Method. No Lifer now in a bit of trouble. He doesn't have his block either. Both these teams running on fumes at this point. He might just go down here. The low Cyclone, if they could have got down to Chaz, it might have been the game, but I think it's okay as long as they can follow it up. But he gets the Shadow Meld. Excellent play from Chaz, and maybe they can turn it around here. They get the full Ring of Frost onto Poke. This is going to be game one. He gets locked on the sheep. He can't do anything to survive. How is Raikou still alive? He's getting reconnected to now by Chaz. Wise doing his best job to keep him alive. He does have the block soon.
2,
is he going to get it?
1 second before Raikou gets blocked. Is he going to have to use it right away is the next question. He's down to 18%. Minpoike boldly keeping him alive without using that block, but because NG Blue survived that, they're ahead. No Lifer's in trouble. He has no block for 30 seconds. He's already below half HP. Chaz is looking for some defensive Cyclones, trying to give No Lifer some breathing room right now. Waz actually, maybe, I'm not sure entirely why he shadow stepped back over onto Prey, and now he's not really able to connect onto No Lifer for a few seconds, just getting rooted up. No Lifer now getting sheeped. I'm curious, Waz used a Vanish here. I think he's trying to find Prey. He's not able to find him. Both of the rogues in stealth right now, kind of cheeky move by them, just moving around. It's almost like a reset. We're basically like back at the beginning of the game. But we're down some cooldowns, and No Lifer and Raikou are just like, here's a Frostbolt, here's a Frostbolt, here's a Frostbolt. Full kidney shot onto Chaz. They need to follow this up with some CC. They get the full polymorph. Well done from Raikou. No Lifer is now on the run. He may want to choose to line of sight here. I believe they actually broke the sheet with the Ice Nova, so maybe a bit of a mistake there by Raikou. Full blind onto Chaz, but he already connected a big heal, so he's able to sit this for free.
Yeah, a slight mistake there. I think it was also a good play from No Life. He blinked, which meant that the Ice Nova broke that. And now Raikou taking a lot of damage. Both Druids sat through the blind there, so greedy on both sides, but neither team even going to have to trade out a block. No Life might have to hear the bash from Mimpoike. Excellent play from him. Good situational awareness. They're going to follow up with the DR Cyclone. They're actually swapping the bomb. Not entirely sure if this is a great play since No Life was in the block at the time.
I believe that was Prey Smoke Bomb onto Raikou. No Lifer's just in so much trouble. Waz finishes the Raikou in a cross kill, maybe? No, just good move, Raikou. I say block
Yes.
there was the right decision. That would have definitely gone to a pretty interesting 2v2.
A team was so far ahead that they just had cooldowns to answer every situation.
Yeah.
We should be getting ready for game 2. I'm not entirely sure what map would have been chosen.
Yeah, it seems like the Rogues were left open for basically that entire game.
Yeah.
They didn't really... Usually... rogue players are like one of the most class envy
Normally
classes.
you see at least one of them going for it.
Yeah, it's like I'll catch you out and show I'm the better rogue, and you kind of see that happen often, but it didn't happen at all in that last game. So either way, Tolvaron Arena will be picked for Method, and this is a much more defensive, beneficial map. You can kite very far away, but again, the mages in EU, they love their frostbolts, they like their icicles. There's going to be no waiting in stealth for these guys, just chucking damage out at each other right away.
Yep, and we'll see, well, just that happening exactly. We'll see who gets the opener, and actually Waz gets the sap. They're going to bomb onto Prey. He has to trinket this one instantly. He trinkets, uses the evasion. A nice response from Prey. That's slightly unfortunate for Method. It's going to instantly put them behind the Iron Bark onto No Life. Are they going to cut through this? The NS also used by Chaz to keep him alive there. They're not able to follow up that deep freeze. The blind coming out. Is he going to trinket this one? He doesn't want to. If he trinkets, of course, it's such a big risk because Prey might just go down. They use the smoke bomb. They're actually swapping over onto Waz, so they were talking about that rogue envy. There's one go onto Prey and they turn it right back. No Life is still in trouble. No Iron Bark, no NS available. Is he going to have to use the first block? It doesn't look like it.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it for now. Chaz isn't in any crowd control. It's important to know that Waz is playing subtlety now and not combat, so he'll have a lot of burst damage every minute. Looks like they're setting up a kill onto No Lifer right now, or at least trying to force a block, but no damage to follow it up. Unless Mimpoike can keep this clone going. They follow it up with a polymorph. I wonder if he had time to avoid that. Maybe he didn't, and now No Lifer is in a lot of trouble as a result. Prey caught into a Cyclone, NG Blue in a dominating position right now. If they get the block with that Shadow Dance, they could just get a kill right out of it.
Yeah, perhaps at the same time though, Prey really wants to get the go onto Waz, but the kidney is preemptively raid or walled by Waz. They're going to sheep him up because of that. They get the blind into the sap on Mimpoike. Good cross CC. They might be able to turn this around onto Raikou. He's in a bit of trouble. Respects the CC coming out from on his teammates. Able to just trade out that ice block, and we're trading 1-for-1 on blocks right now.
Waz did what I expected him to do. He immediately popped Shadow Dance when No Lifer, when No Lifer came out of his block, but he got sheeped on it. So he just didn't get any damage off with his cooldown, and as a result, lost a kill opportunity. So I feel like Waz could have been a little bit more patient there. Raikou getting cloned up by Chaz. I'm wondering if he's trying to clone the hots off and then maybe make a setup onto him. And Poike is in a good position defensively, though, to get some hots rolling right away if he needs to. Mana might be an issue, at least not maybe for another couple minutes, but right now Chaz is ahead. We're back to that kind of beginning start where the mages are just chucking damage at each other. It looks like Waz is going to pull the trigger first. A lot of burst over onto No Lifer. He blinks away. He's trying to kite Waz, but Waz shadow steps back over. Raikou now could be in quite a bit of trouble. Prey punishing that offensive blink with a kidney shot. Raikou gets the Iron Bark though from Mimpoike. That should keep him going. Maybe it's not enough. Raikou is just getting destroyed. Prey's doing so much damage right now. Frozen Orb out from No Lifer. He's looking to try and finish off Raikou. He does not want to have to overlap his Ice Block. It'll be so many cooldowns, but he might just need to. And Poike struggling to deal with this. A full blind over onto Chaz. They're trying to counter pressure No Lifer at the same time. Blind into that full sap from Waz. Here comes the Shadow Dance. No Lifer has one more block, and he needs to respect the damage. Huge DFA over onto No Lifer. He blinks away, trying to kite. Drops down that Cone of Cold slow, but gets cloned up at low HP. Really well done from Mimpoike.
Yeah, I really like the fact that Chaz instantly recognized that and just went for the Cyclone on Raikou. No hesitation. He gets caught in the DR sheep now. The Cyclone to follow up. That might well be the block onto No Life. He's kiting away. Waz steps onto him. He has to block here. He does use that ice block. So nice follow up by NG Blue. The Cyclones, of course, from Mimpoike were able to set that one up and allow them to continue that CC chain. Now we see the Adrenaline Rush popped on Prey. Who's his target of choice? He doesn't really seem to be connecting too much. They're just shutting that cooldown down. He actually trinkets offensively here. Who's his target? I'm still not entirely sure. He's actually going to get punished for that trinket. He's just going to fall in the smoke bomb.
Big punish.
Big mistake from Prey. I don't know exactly what he was trying to do there. Adrenaline Rush didn't seem to connect to anyone. Waz instantly punishes that trinket. The smoke bomb was ready, the kidney shot. 2-0 to NG.
Waz wanted to try sub. That's a pretty big risk. It ended up paying off. I think he did very well.
Yep.
Arguably, the one Shadow Dance could have been used a little bit better, but other than that, he did a great job of just shutting down Pry and finding good opportunities to take him down. So if they can keep that up, I really feel like NG Blue are going to take this 3-0.
Yep, I agree, and this is what we were talking about. They do go for it, so we'll have to see how Chaz Paladin fares up in this matchup. We've seen Frofsy, he hasn't been here this tournament, so he's going to be hopefully not too rusty, or he's going to be nice and warmed up is what I should be saying. We'll see if they open up onto Frofsy. It looks like he's going to be the target of choice. They actually get a Sheep onto No Life. I think he should be able to LOS that there, really. That's going to give them such a great opener. Can they get the Cyclones onto Chaz? It doesn't look like it. The Wings NS able to trade it out. Not too many trinkets actually forced on the side of Method, so this is a pretty okay opener for them.
Yeah, definitely is right now, and Method need to find a target. Looks like they're going to go after Waz with the silence on Minpoike. Nobody is really responding. Kind of a greedy start for Minpoike and Waz. They're going to get away with that greed. Waz now going on offense with his Shadow Dance, looking like he wants to connect to Frofsy, but he just can't do it. Frofsy getting a great Spectral Guys and avoiding a lot of damage here. Yeah,
Frofsy's playing really, really well. The coordination between Chaz and No Life are there as well to get that set up. They didn't get a cooldown, unfortunately, but they were very close. Frofsy with an extra Spectral Guys. They've just been playing so well defensively, and instantly it looks like Chaz Paladin is no nerves. He's completely confident on it, and they're actually forcing NG Blue to retreat right now with Raikou and Minpoike kind of far away. Raikou trying to build up his damage for their next onslaught. Here comes the Kidney on the Aura Mastery. A nice play from Waz, but I think the sacrifice may have come up onto Frofsy. He's again in a great Spectral Guy. So this CC not really achieving too much. They're swapping to No Lifer.
Yeah, No Lifer down to half HP. Chaz caught into a full polymorph, so this could easily be an ice block for No Lifer if he is not careful, and he is kind of in the open. He's trying to pull back, maybe try and get out of line of sight here. And Poike getting sheeped up. I think they want to set up some damage onto Waz. They do land the full Fist of Justice, and someone needs to do something. So Waz decides to trinket and trade his Cloak of Shadows to survive through that setup, and now as a result can push aggressively onto No Lifer and force him into his ice block. So an equal 1-for-1 trade there aggressively. Chaz still sitting in a polymorph though. If they can keep this chain going on Chaz, they might be able to just kill No Lifer out of his ice block. He's still at half HP. Nice Blizzard. He sniped Waz completely out of stealth, but Chaz, he still has to bubble. Even still with bubbling, he's struggling to heal No Lifer through Waz's pressure.
Yep, that was the bubble and the Avenging Wrath from Chaz. He doesn't really have any cooldowns left. His Trinket's going to be up in 30. After this Avenging Wrath runs out, he's going to be struggling a little bit. No Lifer still has his block, and Frofsy's just been playing so well this series already. He hasn't really had to use anything just because he's been Spectral Guising preemptively on all the setups. We see Raikou in a lot of trouble here. The silence to follow up the CC onto Minpoike is going to force that first block, and a nice double fair from Frofsy. He's able to empty this block. This could be a lot of trouble for Raikou. Can they follow up onto Minpoike? I'm not sure they have too much. The Shadow Melt coming out from him. He should be able to reconnect with his mage, but he needs to top him off if Raikou's going to go offensive and try and end this one.
Yep, No Lifer only has one more block remaining. Raikou, though, is still getting pressured, and Minpoike, if he sees that NS, he can just steal it off. I don't think No Lifer has mana to do it. Frofsy's not even looking at it. They're completely ignoring the nature swiftness that Minpoike had up. They do get it right after the Swiftman. Minpoike is pretty salty after that. He's going to lose his big heal. Waz could be in trouble here. Minpoike's got a nice preemptive Iron Bar, but they immediately switch their attention to Raikou again. Minpoike re-stealthing out of that fear, trying to avoid any crowd control. Waz pulling the trigger, though, aggressively now onto No Lifer. He's taking so much damage. Chaz actually hit the Trinket there to try and keep him alive, but that Blessing of Sacrifice with spell stolen off, and now No Lifer is completely exposed and needs to block. Down at 13% HP, and even still, if they can get any CC on Chaz again, they might just kill him out of this block. A blind use there by Waz onto No Lifer. I'm not 100% sure why he did that, to be completely honest.
Yeah, I don't know. I think No Lifer, he definitely didn't want to have to block there. That's the first thing, right? He had the offensive pressure. They had the CC onto Minpoike, and you can see they still have a fair bit of damage going. Frofsy's been kind of left untouched for the last minute or so. We see the sheep after the fear onto Minpoike. Nice communication by Method. They suddenly look a lot more coordinated when they're playing this shadow play, which is what I really like about No Lifer's shadows. There's the CC. He always knows exactly when he can land what CC, but they're still not ahead in this game necessarily. Raikou still has a block block. Minpoike has his trinket. Waz did just trinket out there. I think he might have trinketed slightly offensively. He certainly wasn't under too much pressure. But No Lifer doesn't have any blocks available for 20 seconds. This is the kill window. Can they get it?
I don't think they can. Chaz is doing a good job with that Blessing and Protection. It looks like Waz is just going to cheap shot Chaz. I was actually wondering if he was going to swap, but they're not going to commit any more pressure. Chaz, though, has no bubble, no trinket, no bops, no cooldowns, really, actually, for about 20 seconds. And No Lifer will have a block in 2, so that's going to be their last line of defense here for the attack out from NG Blue, which is impending. Raikou, in the meantime, is in a great position defensively. It's only Frosty really able to hit him. Unfortunately, No Lifer is just getting locked down. He can't chase after him. Now a bit of burst following up, but Raikou's the one taking the brunt of it. He's down at 28%. He's running back over to the staircase. Interesting decision to kite to that position. It will force Chaz into the open for a few seconds, but they aren't able to get any CC as he was running back to the box. In the meantime, No Lifer and Chaz there, buddy right next to each other, getting ready for this next attack. Deep freeze on Chaz. They aren't able to follow it up. Waz is going to use the gouge instead, and if they kill in this gouge, that would be pretty spectacular. Chaz popping his Avenging Wrath connects a huge heal, and with this Avenging Wrath rolling, he should be able to deal with this damage pretty easily.
Yeah, I actually really like this situation for Method. We do see the sheep land. It was, of course, DR from that earlier gouge that we talked about. He stirs his wings, so he should be able to heal through this one. The Aura Mastery on the Frost Draw again. A nice trade from Chaz. They might actually swap over to Minpoike, or maybe Frosty's just decided, I've had enough, I'm not waiting for you, No Lifer. I'm just going to use my disarm, get the fear off it, try set up some solo CC. They have the Hodge to follow that up. No Lifer hasn't even been involved in the CC chain yet. Can he get the DR sheep? Doesn't look like it, but they get the block anyways. So that was pretty much Frosty and Chaz deciding, you know what, No Lifer, if you're not going to deep this Druid and get the CC, we're going to do it for you. And they might get the win here. The trigger comes out. He doesn't dice through it. He didn't have NS. The Ironback wasn't enough. The silence lay onto Minpoike, and he couldn't top off Raikou. Method, they pull one back into the Shadow Play. It's paying off instantly for them.
You know, we were saying that Chaz was the one that was going to be needing to become often, but usually when they do,
they play amazing.
They play amazing. Yeah. So why don't they get to play more?
I don't think the Shadow should have necessarily the advantage in this matchup anymore, and many people would agree with me on that. But it just is his cooldown usage was good. The only time the Method looked like they could die was that one go where they didn't have Trinket Bubble, they didn't have blocks, and he preemptively bopped it. So there was literally no pressure on the side of...
You know, I'm wondering if when Waz blinded No Lifer, it was a very strange use of blind, if he was trying to bait a bop.
Maybe, yeah.
And then go for a kill after, and he just didn't fall for it. Either way, this is game number 4 now. Method managed to pull off a win, and they're sticking with the Shatter play. NG Blue moving in with a nice attack onto Frosty. Let's see how much damage they get out of this. There's no control on No Lifer, so he's had some free time to just spell steal all of the buffs away. Now finally some damage over onto Frosty, down to 20% HP. He does not want to have to use Dispersion in the opener here. A very dangerous moment. Chaz connects a big heal. Frosty MDs that Cyclone. Frosty playing the series phenomenally now that he's off the bench. Waz caught in a polymorph. It looks like they maybe want to set something up off of that. Not entirely sure. Maybe they were trying to bait a dispel on that Vampiric Touch. Interesting play. Raikou now getting bursted down very hard. Down to 17. Down to 11. Just dead. You're just dead.
I can't believe that. He had so much time to block there. I completely understand why he didn't want to. You can see Minpoike use the NS that have managed to kind of draw the meta of the series away from that Rogue Mage. And if they can bait it into the Shadow, maybe this is where No Lifer looks stronger, because he's been playing that for such a long time, and actually they are going to stick to the Rogue Mage. So this is the Rogue Mage Druid of NG Blue versus the Shadow play of Method. Who's going to come out on top in Game 5 of this pivotal series?
Waz is going back to his comfort spec on combat, so I think this is a smart move. Obviously, maybe didn't know exactly what to do as subtlety, but playing combat, I'm sure he has 100% idea what he wants to do. Frosty, early trinket actually, and landing a full fear there. Really well done. It's going to stop a lot of damage, and they hold on to all of their cooldowns, basically. Minpoike, Condo Defreeze. Are they going to swap to Minpoike? They're throwing out a bit of cheeky damage. They're maybe trying to bait some cooldowns. They don't really get... They get the Heart of the Wild, which is a very big cooldown, but they're definitely looking for more than that. Now swap over to Raikou. He almost goes down without blocking again, down to 14% HP. Minpoike needs to get some heals over onto him very quickly because Method are just destroying.
Yeah, and this is looking pretty good for Method again. Frosty, he recognizes the spec swap from Waz. He respects that there's going to be more damage and all-in potential at the start. Instantly trinkets, breaks up that CC chain. Some creative plays on the side of Method to start up that interesting... It was quite interesting they started to hit Poike. I think all they really wanted from it was to make sure he was hurting himself so they could swap to Raikou. They get the block out of it in exchange for No Lifer blocking as well, though.
Yep, Mage is tied on defender cooldowns at this point. Definitely an even match. Raikou looking to maybe try and find Frosty, and the Spectral guy's not able to. No Life are just spamming Blizzards, trying to make sure that Waz cannot get a re-stealth, and doing a good job. It looks like they're setting up a triple CC attack on a Raikou. Great setup from Method, very clean. If they can keep this chain going on Minpoike, Raikou could be forced into a second block, but unfortunately, Raikou and Waz have taken complete control of the match and prevented that from happening, and they've actually forced Frosty to disperse very early and at very high health. I'm almost wondering if he needed to.
Yeah, I've got to respect the way that NG Blue were able to turn that around. It was a very good triple CC out from Method. They did it on point. No way that you could outplay that. All of it was at exactly the same time, but they were able to turn it around somehow that they got the CC and they got the cooldown out of Method. So now Frosty, without that dispersion, he does have his trinket coming back up in the near future, but Chaz really needs to be saving him here. The trinket bop instantly coming out from Chaz. I like that decision. They're actually swapping over onto Minpoike here. He's in a bit of trouble. He's caught in normal form. The full Hodge, they have the Deep Freeze and the Silence to follow this up. This could be the game. He's used the trinket of the Silence. He's going to get out maybe. The Shadow Melt comes out. The Iron Bark comes out. He used every single defensive cooldown. Look at that. 5 cooldowns used at the exact same time. Will they be able to swap it over to Raikou? Surely they don't have any damage left. The Cyclone onto Prophecy will break it up, but Minpoike has nothing left.
You know, if they want to mind game NG Blue, they should switch and go after Raikou. Frosty, though, is in a lot of trouble right now. Chaz sees it coming, trades out his bubble, so he'll be able to freely cast some heals right now. But even just casting heals, Waz is annihilating Frosty, and this is match point. If Frosty dies here, it would be pretty spectacular. They set up on Poike. Poike has nothing, literally nothing to survive. Raikou and Waz need to do some emergency method right here. He's just going to take it. I can't believe it. I actually can't believe it.
The offensive bop, the wings from Chaz, they all knew that was the play they needed. And despite the block from Raikou, they could not keep Minpoike alive. That's 3-2 in favor of Method, and the #1 seed of this entire qualifier is going to get knocked out in the lower bracket.
I cannot believe that. I mean,
look at the damage as well.
Minpoike had to know that was coming.
Yeah,
he had to.
But he didn't have anything. I mean, he could have bare formed, maybe he could have maybe tried to LOS a little bit more, but I mean, they were so close to the kill as well. I think that kind of baited him. Like, Prophecy was so low. If he could have got a low cycling onto him, he would have won the game for his team. But at the same time, they held that disarm, they held the Hodge. They had so many stops that he should have respected it, to be honest. And unfortunately for NG Blue, that's going to be their qualifier life over. This NG takeover we've been seeing in US, not going to follow through for this cup. But Method, they're looking so strong with that shadow play. And with so many RMDs in the lower bracket, on the other side, you've got to wonder if this shadow play can take down those as well.
I would imagine they're going to try. Frosty definitely earned his spot.
Yeah, there's no way there's